All right, we are in round 2, and we're on the draw. And I think we actually want to keep this hand. If we get the green mana, we're in really good shape. If we don't, we might be in some trouble. But we're on the draw. We have a couple land plays. If we continue to draw white mana, we can play the Slayer. Ideally, we draw the green mana next turn here. If we do, this hand just gets phenomenal. If not, we might be in some trouble. All right. Didn't draw it on time, but still a fine draw here. So we can take the Captive. I'm trying to think what that lets me do. Captive lets me potentially play Cult next turn. I think it's worth it here. We're a turn behind on it, but that's all right. I'm not going to play the Griff Spoon on it either. All right, so I can actually clear shot now, protect us a little bit. Obviously, it's not ideal, but next turn this is going to untap and we can start playing some stuff. So I think I'm just going to get this guy off the board now. Like if I draw a land, I want to be able to just play a Cult. All right, we got a Fragment instead. So what does that mean? I have 4 mana. 4 mana is kind of an ugly number. I guess we're going to play the Fragment here. Huh, this is awkward. So if I play the Scarecrow, I got to take a damage, and all of my 5-drops get more expensive. I think we probably just play the Slayer, offer the trade. It's obviously not ideal, but we don't have to take damage. A Scarecrow is definitely awkward when you're anxious to get your mana. Well, I mean, the good news is, even though we're taking just a bajillion damage here, we can play the Lancer next turn, and our opponent really can't interact with it, at least on board. So if my opponent has another removal spell, I could be in trouble. It might actually be in our best interest to just Bound by Moonsilver and protect our life total now. It doesn't make the best use of mana, but it protects us from this guy, and we're getting low on life. And it plays around removal and tempo cards. Now our opponent can upkeep tap, I suppose, but we'll see if they do. Alright, well if they're attacking, I'll take it. Alright. It's going to be a problem. I can't believe we haven't found a land yet. It's kind of crazy. So I can play the Outrider, but I bet it's 4 lands on top of our deck, to be honest. I can play the Outrider, though, and then I can Griff Spoon it. That's probably what I gotta do. Either way, I'm paying life here. Huh. Oh, I see. So I can't move it. I guess that makes sense. Well, it turns out we only had 1 land on top. All right. Jeez. I feel like we would have just ripped our opponent apart here if we could have hit that land a lot earlier. I mean, I guess we're not dead, but man, are we close. Oh, we are dead? Jeez. Wow. That was a rough one. Exactly tapped out. Exactly every card in their hand. Jeez. Worked out pretty well for my opponent there. Didn't work out so well for me, though. Jeez. That was really harsh. So what's my plan? I can bring in the Iron Right cleansing for the choking restraints. 1-for-1 card, though, I don't really like. We definitely got punished by the keep, sadly. I still would make the keep. But we got punished by it pretty badly there. Do I want to do anything different? I don't think so. I think it's fine. We just need to draw better. All right, we'll play first. Yeah, I guess we got punished last time. Does that mean we should do it again? See, I really hate having to decide on this hand in particular because of the fragment and the fact that we got tempoed. Like, if we don't draw a land, we're just going to get tempoed out again. If we do draw a land, this hand's... we probably just mulligan. I think, unfortunately, in this matchup, we're just going to need the sure bet because, well, this hand's not a sure bet, but it's all we got. But the reason is because our opponent is, like, pure tempo. Like, I tried to hold off the tempo as best I could, and I still just got crushed by tempo. So it just makes sense to not even try and do a risky keep. Otherwise, you're likely to just get crushed against a tempo deck. They're gonna bounce, you know, when you miss your land. If you miss a land drop against a tempo deck, you can just kiss it all goodbye. All right, let's flip our dude. All right. I don't mind so much if he's using tempo cards to bounce our things. So I guess we'll play the Ox here. If he's using his tempo cards to slow us down instead of deal us damage, that's just not bad for us. All right, I guess we probably just clear shot that. So let's Griff Spoon first, get some extra damage going. Opponent's got some really fantastic tempo-y, just a really fantastic tempo build. Like every single card he has played is is tempo in some way, shape, or form. So we're missing our land drop again, which is kind of a bummer. I can just bound this in Moonsilver. It's not great. It does protect us a little bit. All right. I just feel like we're going to prevent some damage to ourselves. I really want to hit that Cult of the Waxing Moon. Yeah, opponent's deck is sweet. Like, I don't even know if I've seen that many tempo cards in Eldritch Moon draft before. This is like the record. So I think we go Logger and Lunarch Mantle now. I'm just trying to make use of mana until I can draw that. Wow. It's really slick, and it's like all perfect mana too. I'm blown away with how well my opponent's tempo deck is working right now. That was like off the top too. That's pretty crazy. My opponent is on fire right now, and I'm just getting crit by my deck too. I'm just getting crit so hard here. Yeah. Yeah. Man. Amazing the difference between 4 and 5 lands does for this hand right now. Alright, I guess we play Dawn Griffin pass. We're not going to be able to block the Fogwalkers though. It's almost like my opponent can't miss. It's pretty crazy. My opponent is literally on fire. On fire. I guess we block this. We take more damage from it if he puts some mana in. Wow. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I guess we're on to round 3. Oh, geez. Yeah, that was intensely brutal. All right. We'll see you in round 3.